Sadly, this is the third take at trying to get this intro. Okay, well, basically, I'm late. I'm not my normal late that I've been in the past. This is actually a fairly quick late, and it's possibly an abnormal late. More of a, not quite the lazy late, but a completely different, like, attitudinal and maybe slightly sick late or something. I don't know. But either way, we're getting this going. My name is Edward, and welcome to More Geek Than Gay. So, like I said, maybe a little something. I don't know. Yesterday I wasn't feeling so hot. I even had to call in sick. We had some weather come in, so I'm thinking maybe it was related to allergies. Don't know. I couldn't sleep well the night before. So now and then on Sunday when I normally do the podcast, because Monday's kind of my emergency day, but Sunday is when I normally do it. We were actually having a nice little family day, Joseph, Archie, and I, watching TV, getting caught up on stuff. He's going to be gone this upcoming weekend to Hawaii. Feel free to be jealous because we all are. And so didn't do the podcast on Sunday because we were just having a nice little family time. Yeah. So that explains why we're getting this out today. I almost put out a podcast saying that there was going to be no podcast today, but then the contradiction on that caught me, and I thought that would just be too weird. So we're doing a podcast. Yeah, we are. So not much has happened this week. Like I said, I was sick, and last week not much either. It just was regular week. Yeah, not a busy, exciting week for me this week. Did go and see a movie. Went and saw a movie. That was nice. Oh, by the way, apparently, according to people who have seen it, if you go see the Jurassic Park in IMAX 3D, it's spectacular. I have a hard time believing that making it on a giant screen is going to fix all of the horrible 3D effects. But maybe it does. Maybe they spent all the money making it good for the IMAX one, and they went, screw it for people who don't want to pay for IMAX. I don't know. My recommendation is still don't go see it. But if you are going to go see it, try the IMAX version. People are raving about that one. Went and saw Evil Dead, the remake of that, and that wasn't bad. It was entertaining. The girl in it, the main girl, she's a sister of one of the characters who's trying. They're all there to help her kick her drug habit in a cabin in the woods. She's pretty good, actually. She pretty much carries this movie. The big problem I had with it is the stupidity. Now, a lot of horror movies and action flicks and stuff like that do depend on people making stupid decisions, and in real life, people make stupid decisions. Let's be honest. Okay, you can you can complain all you want about, like, why did they freeze instead of, like, actually, like, running away? Well, because they were scared, and people do that when they are scared, okay? They just freeze sometimes. So, it's a conflict between the fight or flight concept, actually, that happens there. This one has a big stupid moment that just got me, and it got me distracted for probably a good third of the movie. Now you got to realize that they're up here in this secluded cabin to help her with her drug rehabilitation or kicking the habit of either heroin or meth. Joseph thought it was meth. I think it's heroin just because in these stories, what comes out of a little baggie that they're pouring out is always heroin when they're having to do like a big rehab moment. So I'm assuming it's rehab, that it's heroin. And they're up in the woods. We, the audience, already know that horrible things have happened here because we saw that even before the opening credits. And I'm not going to be ruining anything here, by the way. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. This is actually something that happens in like maybe the first 15 minutes of the movie. So it's not really a spoiler. This is just the stupid thing that happens that made it hard for me to get back into the movie. They have her up there for rehab. She, of course, is wanting to leave eventually because, you know, she starts going through the DTs. Then she's complaining about this horrible smell, which they all complained about when they entered the cabin. Before that happens, I forgot, as they're walking into the old family cabin, they discovered that it's been broken into. People have been there. They just walk in and like settle in his home anyway, not even thinking about the fact that they're secluded in the woods and maybe there's people still in that cabin. But okay, we can halfway forgive that one. Like I said, there's this horrible smell that they all comment on when they get in. But then everybody but the druggy sister has apparently adjusted to it, and she's now the only one complaining about it. And they're like, "Oh no, your senses are just sensitive because like you're kicking the habit. That's just how it's going to be for a little while." Then the dog that they brought, it's clearly smelling something. It digs at the rug in the middle of the floor. They pull the rug aside, and they find a trapdoor with a huge blood smear that leads right to the trapdoor. This is where stupid decision that distracted me for a big chunk of the movie occurs. They stay. They don't even discuss really whether to leave or not, or whether it's safe. The cabin's been broken into, and there's a huge blood stain leading to a trapdoor that apparently they didn't even know existed in the family cabin. This is when you get the authorities involved, and you find some other place for her to do her rehab, or her whatever you want to call it. In other movies, everyone always complains, why didn't anyone use a cell phone, or and everyone gets upset about the stupid, hey, like what a cheesy way of getting rid of the cell phone reception. This one, they wisely, in a way, chose not to deal with cell phones at all. But at the same time, that falls into the category of stupid decisions because they did bring a registered nurse to help her with the physical problems, and yet they didn't think to bring a cell phone in case of other problems or something more than what a registered nurse could handle. So, fine. After a while, I get past that. The movie was entertaining. The lead guy, who's not Ash, is horrible. He's a horrible, horrible actor. Not even really that pretty to look at. But other than that, it was an enjoyable evening. They do make a point of trying to hit all the points from the movies. So if you've seen the first two movies, there will be moments when you are fully aware of what has to come next because, they're setting this up and here it comes, bam. So, but it was fun. I'm not saying it's a great movie. If you want to, you can wait until it comes out on DVD. But if you do have a chance to go see it with some friends, go for it. It was a fun movie. Now, let's see. That's pretty much my activity of the week. So let's actually just kill a podcast here. I don't want to kill a podcast. It just sounds so mean. But let's get this puppy started here. And first, gay shows. So, dun 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 dun. Gay shows. Yes, we still don't have an official bumper for that. We just have me making noises. Um, this week in gay shows, actually had a couple. Tried catching up on Smash a little bit. I only watched one episode out of the 8 that we have on our DVR, and I think I maybe have realized I don't care. They brought in a new character to help them fix the book to the script because that's what Smash is about. They're making a Marilyn Monroe musical, and the critics and everyone have decided that the music's good, but the book needs work. And so they bring in a dramaturg, which for the first 20 or so times that they said that word over and over again, I thought they were saying dramaturg, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell a dramaturg is. So then I had to look it up, and the definition of dramaturg that I found had nothing to do with what this guy did. Apparently, they're just kind of ghostwriter type people who go in and help fix shows. And a good chunk of them will sue for their contribution. Like the dramaturg for Rent, apparently sued for fixing the book. And the sad thing is that that's the fixed book. Imagine how much of a piece of crap the storyline was to Rent before, because there's some pretty bad stuff in there. Some of those characters never become likable. I'm talking about you, Jew boy, who couldn't die. It's obvious that Grace is gonna sleep with the dramaturg, and the rest of the show is just there. They've introduced a whole new show on the side that's working, and then what's her face from American Idol who won the Oscar, like she's in there as someone who just quit Wiz, and now she wants the guy who's like the director for the Marilyn Monroe thing to help her develop a one-woman show, just while he's also helping with this other show that the lead actress of the Marilyn Monroe thing has discussed. And it's just a little, I don't know, focus on something. They're focusing on nothing, and the things that they are doing are kind of cliched. And they introduced a musical number, which they do musical numbers, and they'll sing pop tunes that reflect their feelings and everything, and it's always kind of blended better. This week it really felt Glee-like, and the cheese factor in Glee is fine for Glee, but on this one it always felt like they were trying to be a little bit more realistic, and it didn't work. It just felt cheesy. So I might try one more episode before I give up, but I think I might have just given up on it. Project Runway, that was fun. We have Patricia, the crazy Indian woman with great ideas, who had to work with Richard, who should have been gone like 4 episodes before he was kicked off finally. So he got kicked off last week. So this week, they're back. They bring back assistants to help them with solo projects, and I'm like thinking, they are aware that they're bringing back Richard, right? They're not just going to bring in people off the street to sew for them. They're going to bring back in these past contestants who have already been kicked off from Project Runway that you guys already have opinions about, and probably will hope not to have to work with. No one wanted to work with Richard. Guess who ended up stuck working with Richard? Patricia. The person who helped get him kicked off last time, basically, because he was just horrible, and working with her confirmed it to the judges. So she's stuck working with him. He can't sew shit. He can't do anything. She's having to simplify her design to fit his abilities. And on the runway, they get her for the fact that her design doesn't seem to have like a clear vision, and she's like basically saying that she had to change things while trying not to say that she was having difficulty with Richard, although they do drag that out of her, and she gets kicked off. Richard manages to take another one down who should have stayed, because there were worse designers up there. The little whiny girl actually did put out a good design, so I can't complain about her so much, except for the fact that she shouldn't be there anymore anyway. RuPaul's Drag Race, thanks to me being a day late, I actually got to see last night's episode. So last week they all had to do a telenovela, and it was nice to see Roxy get her head out of her ass and back into the game. Um, and Jinx won, which was great because Jinx is the one that all of the pageant queens keep on like going, oh, you're just a humor queen or a comedy queen. You're not a real drag queen. And even Roxy, who I like, got dragged into that a little bit. She made a couple comments. Both of them did well. Jinx won, and Alyssa went home. Alyssa's one that I've been thinking has been skimming by on just winning her lip sync for her life. Not winning challenges, not winning anything else, just the lip sync for her life. And then there's the whole drama between Alyssa and Coco that's been going on and going on and going on and going on, and no one cares. So Alyssa went home. Yay! This last week. Hope you've already watched RuPaul because I'm going to spoil it. Coco goes home. They're both gone. Yay! And Coco just whines and whines and whines some more. And Roxy wins, even though it could have easily gone to Jinx. So this takes us to our final four for RuPaul's Drag Race of Roxy Andrews, Jinx Monsoon, Detox, who doesn't really have a last name in spite of what you might find, and let's see, Alaska. Of those, it's not hard for me to figure out who I want to be my final four. Alaska, go home. You've been doing okay. You've been picking it up, but still, Alaska, go home. I'm done with you. You're still just a poor imitation of Sharon, who now whines about trying to figure out how to make the judges see how original you are when you just did bad stuff. Go home. Go home, go home, go home. Then, this actually leads to the question, though, who do I want to see win? I like Detox, but I like Roxy and Jinx better. Roxy was my favorite all through the season, except for the fact that Jinx has been chugging along, chugging along, chugging along, showing that she is a strong and, dare I say it, fierce queen to be reckoned with. And, you know, I'd be happy with either one, but I might be starting to almost favor Jinx. And it doesn't help that I'm still not happy with the comments that Roxy made regarding, you know, pageant queens essentially being better than comedy queens. It was basically the comments that she made, and that the pageant queens just weren't getting the respect they deserved this season. She didn't say it as strong. She only basically said it once, and she's actually in general been nice to Jinx and all that, and she actually has comedy in her. That's the reason why she's still here, is because she's the only one of the pageant queens that could do comedy and had no problem looking goofy if need be. But it's still a little not good. And so that's what's taken a little bit of edge off of Roxy for me and given it to Jinx. Jinx has been good, and she hasn't really she made a comment about pageant queens, but it seemed more like self-defense or being defensive, however you want to look at it. That is my gay shows for the week. Let me just double check. I have a list that I'm doing here, so let me see here. Yep, that's my list. Really quick, between after gay shows and before whatever, I want to do like an acknowledgement section or something. Da 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 da. They're gone. So Roger Ebert, shame, he's gone. He actually, even when I didn't agree with him, I loved his opinions on things. It's just a shame. Annette Funicello yesterday, that actually kind of was a heartbreaking moment. I still remember when they did a special years and years ago, and they asked her what she would like to do and everything, and she stated that this is after she had already been pretty much wheelchair bound, and she stated that she just wished she could dance again, and she started crying, and I always got upset at that. I think it was ABC for making Annette Funicello cry, because that's just that's just evil. You don't make Annette cry. But I like to think that now she's dancing again wherever she is. Then Carmine Infantino, who did comic book work. He was did the Flash and Batman for a long time. He did some nice runs, some nice issues of Spider-Woman for Marvel. He also ended up being an editor and publisher for DC Comics. So he was actually kind of a big deal. If you don't know comics, you won't know this, but really he was a big deal and very influential, and he'll be missed. And then even Margaret Thatcher. If it wasn't for Margaret Thatcher, we wouldn't have a lot of the things that we have nowadays that tried to speak out against Margaret Thatcher's England. So I hope you're up there playing bridge with, or playing gin with Uncle Ronnie. Okay? We know that Nancy won't be jealous of you. So, because I'm not even sure Margaret Thatcher was a woman. Pictures or it didn't happen. So, Doctor Who. I have to go back and make a small correction to last week's crazy theory with Doctor Who, because they did reveal who it was. It was the Supreme Intelligence. I just didn't recognize him. Okay, when they did the Supreme Intelligence for the winter show, he happened to be why can I not remember his name? Magneto. And the other guy, who I can't remember the name of right now, and apparently I never wrote their names down, was basically his servant of sorts, and then I think he even was killed off or made mindless or whatever. Well, that's the version of the Supreme Intelligence that we got to see, was the one that was killed off. We didn't get to see Sir Ian McKellen. Ha ha ha, I remember now because I have brain stuff going on. We didn't see him. We saw the other one, and then it was still kind of staticky, and so I don't know what's going on there. Just because of that, though, doesn't mean that my crazy theory can't work. Okay, it still could be the villain, the Supreme Intelligence, and that he had hired the guys from Shada too, because it did seem like they weren't necessarily in charge, and I can't remember what that big plot point was, because there was kind of a plot point there. And I still find that their schemes for taking over the world or the universe or whatever were somewhat similar to each other, interestingly similar. And I forgot to mention what has me excited about this upcoming season, or half a season, or whatever you want to call it, with Doctor Who. And that is Dame Diana Rigg is going to be on with her daughter. Yay! She's not going to be in the last episode of the season. I think it's the one right before that. John Hurt is also going to be in the anniversary special. People are speculating that he will be possibly the Master. But I don't care. Dame Diana Rigg. Woohoo! Mrs. Peel finally meets the Doctor. Haha! Very happy about that. Very, very happy about that. And I'm liking the tete-a-tete or whatever with the Doctor and his new companion. There is a little difference in their sexual play, or however you want to call it, in that it's a little bit more like the Avengers, Emma Peel and John Steed, where she's more teasing him than attracted to him, I think. And I'm not saying that he's necessarily attracted to her, but he does fall for her teasing. And that leads to some of the back and forth, and they just kind of have this quick little banter back and forth that we haven't seen for a while. Amy was great, but she didn't really have that witty back and forth like Emma Peel and John Steed did, and we haven't really seen that in a while. Martha almost had that. Donna kind of had it, but Donna was still more just being marveled by everything. This new one feels more of an equal or at least seems to view herself a little bit more like an equal, and therefore can just like give it as well as she can take it, back and forth like that. That's kind of nice. I'm still kind of waiting for a new Doctor. This is nothing on Matt Smith. Nothing on Matt Smith. It just seems like it's time for a new Doctor. It just feels like it. It feels also like it's time for Moffat to move on. But the shows aren't bad right now, so okay. Um, I have Warehouse 13's coming back. That's pretty much my entire statement on that. Because I don't have anything more. I just have it's coming back. Ta-da! Also, they've announced that they're going to be doing Finding Dory, a sequel to Finding Nemo, which I'm surprised that Ellen DeGeneres hasn't like put out banners everywhere because she's been waiting for a sequel for that for so long. And then Marvel news, Marvel movie entertainment news. There's kind of a rumor going around that this will be Robert Downey Jr.'s last movie, Iron Man 3, because they signed him on for that back on Iron Man, and everything's been really successful. His contract ends with Iron Man 3, and people are thinking that Marvel's not going to want to pay the money to keep him for an additional movie, that they're going to think, it doesn't matter, we can just stick some guy who knows how to drink and knows how to talk to women in an iron suit, and no one will even notice that it's someone different. They're talking about Draper or whatever from Mad Men right now. And I think they're missing the boat here. There's a certain charm that Robert Downey Jr. brought to it that I don't think the guy from Mad Men will have. Almost a certain rock and rollness that I think the guy from Mad Men will be missing. But we'll see how that plays out. Also, on Captain America, The Winter Soldier, Robert Redford has apparently signed on as the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like that, so that's an interesting thing. And they're developing a S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show that will be set in the same universe as the movies, so things that happen in the movies would affect the TV show in theory, and things that happen in the TV show would affect the movies. And one of the interesting things about that is that they're bringing back Agent Coulson, the one who was killed in the Avengers movie, and there is going to be an explanation for how he came back, but they're not going to address it right away. He's going to be it's going to start becoming clear that there was something that happened, and it just brought that way. Don't know when they're starting that S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, though. I have no idea. So that's kind of the update on... That's pretty much the update on everything that I've run into recently. Like I said, I'm just kind of quickly going through this. I still have to jump in the shower and get ready for work because I haven't done that yet. Those of you who get the joy of seeing me on YouTube right now are getting to see basically what I wake up looking like. Hi! And you'll also get to see that I got rid of the rest of the blonde that had been lingering around for a while. So, what little bit that you see in here is not blonde. That's actually gray. Yay! That's hair for gray. I'm winding this up because, like I said, I need to go in and take a shower. This is just a quick howdy do. Anyone who is curious, I meant to give credit last week and I forgot to. Last week's closing song was Hit Me Baby One More Time, done by Ahmet and Dweezil Zappa. I love their version. It was from the Ready to Rumble soundtrack. And their version of that song is my favorite. I think that song is a fantastic song. That's one of the reasons why Britney Spears has a career, is because she actually has fantastic songs, not because she has great talent. And that's not me dissing her talent. This is me saying, though, anybody whose manager chose the songs that she sang would probably have the exact same career as Britney Spears. Hit Me Baby One More Time, one of the most fantastic songs written in like the last 30 years. It's a great song. Marilyn Manson's done it. There's a couple of different rockers who have done it. I can't think of their names now. So that's what that was. That was Ahmet and Dweezil Zappa doing Hit Me Baby One More Time, like I said, from the Ready to Rumble soundtrack. If you are still looking for a good cause, get in touch with the guys at Joshua Tree Feeding Program. That's www.jtfp.org. They help provide food for people with HIV and AIDS. And basically, it's all volunteers. Any help you can give is greatly appreciated. Check out Jenny Koch's books, because Jenny Koch is my friend, and when she's not whoring herself out, someone has to, and it's my job right now. So, or actually not whoring herself out, pimping herself out. Oh, I just called her a whore, kind of. I didn't mean to do that. Well, this is when we get to find out whether or not she listens to these podcasts all the way to the end, don't we? So, anyway, go read her books. It's the Alien series. I believe... Oh, what is the first one? I want to say Alien Encounter, and it's not Alien Encounter. There's Alien Tango and Alien in the Family and Jenny Koch, GINI space KOCH. Go find her. Go get her books. Read them. They're a hoot. This upcoming weekend, I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going to another meeting for Phoenix Comic-Con. I'll give you guys an update on Sunday. And I'm just whipping right through here. Hope you guys have a great week, and next week we will get this out closer to on time, meaning most likely Monday. I shrug. I hope. Bye. Okay, for those of you who want to know, that last bit of craziness was Mucka Blucka, and that is from a group called Tally Hall. They do interesting little things, and that is just the craziest thing I think I've heard in a while. And then, for those who wanted to see, here's our new little addition. This is Marcy. Yes, she's the color of dust. She's our little cutie. She's actually fairly calm for someone so small. Yes, aren't you? So, that said, that's me putting her down so she can, go relax. Catch you all later, Sunday, Monday. Bye. Okay, this is a quick last-minute edit or ad or whatever you want to call it. Welcome to me doing More Geek Than Gay right after getting out of work. Oh, that's what this is like. For those of you who are watching, I apologize. Yellow is not my color, and I just have scary silhouette face going on. Look at it. And and fighting cats. Look, I can do this. Ooh, and then oh my god, my mouth looks huge. But so anyway, back to why this is being added on. I listened, and as I was listening, I realized, what? When I was talking about Project Runway, Patricia wasn't sent home. I don't know why I said she was sent home. She wasn't sent home. What happened is that Patricia ended up somewhat in the bottom too, but she was safe, and then it was Michelle, who had been kind of iffy at first, but been doing kind of quirky, weird, interesting things lately. She's the one who's been given a second chance of sorts. So, which no one knows what that means. So no one was sent home, actually. And we're all just waiting to find out what's going to happen next week. That's what happened on Project Runway. Richard still almost did successfully sabotage Patricia, but fortunately, I think Heidi is very fascinated with what Patricia has to do, and so she's gonna. What is that meowing? Oh well. So that was Patricia's like get out of jail card. I also forgot to tell you how to find me. So you can find me on YouTube. Just type in More Geek Than Gay. You'll see my glorious face pop up. And or you can there's a cat on the roof. That's what you have me like being distracted by, and why I sometimes kind of like go because there's a cat on the roof. You can of course find me on iTunes, More Geek Than Gay, and you'll see my glorious face. Hi. Or you can go to moregeekthangay.libsyn, that's libsyn.com. So those are 3 places right there. Also, you can leave comments at all those places. Like I said, I will incessantly look at all your comments. Or you can call at 1-623-252-1890. And yes, I added a 1 at the beginning of that, as if I don't think you know how to dial a phone number. So, without any further ado, I am going to bid you all a fond good night, because it's obviously night where I'm at right now. I'm going to pet some kitties, and hi, Mama Kitty. Come here. Oh, duh. This is the Mama Kitty, who you can't really see because it's darkness. Oh, and hey, the brave one. Come here, boy. This is the kitty that was on the roof distracting me, the brave one, with his little crooked tail. So, which you couldn't see either because it's darkness. So, welcome to... We have now learned that I possibly should not be doing podcasts outside at night when you can see nothing. Or at least, well, actually I could do my audio podcast, but the video podcast, not so much. You're seeing almost nothing. I kind of have almost a Cheech look going on. Like a combination of Cheech and Zardoz. With big ears. And one eyeball. Ugh. So, catch you all this weekend, which will most likely be Monday, because that's how this weekend works for me. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great grape ape. Bye.